This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
Fan. Just in case you missed it, it's the top 5 sports talkers of the day. Now, it's time for Dan Barreiro's Top 5 at 5. Brought to you by Gutter Helmet of Minnesota. Never clean your gutters again. Learn more at gutterhelmetmn.com.
You should see how easily the water just rolls into my gutters because of Gutter Helmet of Minnesota. It truly is amazing. I drove by Sauce's house the other day because he lives in my old hometown of Edina, and I know where he lives, so good for me. And his gutters look immaculate as well. So if anybody knocks on our door and says, have you ever thought about getting something on your gutters? We can say, no, we went to gutterhelmetmn.com, and we are all good there. Thank you for your time and service. Guardsy out, Dan out, Guardsy in, Brett Blakemore in my spot. He's got the top 5 at 5.
Well, we'll start here. I can't believe we have not discussed this. I mean, you are Captain Minnesota Golden Gopher. You're Dinkytown Athletes. You're sideline reporter guy.
Yeah.
PJ Fleck had his contract extended today through 2030. It's been approved by the University of Minnesota Board of Regents. It approved earlier today. The football team's announcement Wednesday did not include a statement from Fleck, who is entering his 9th season, make that 8th season plus 1.
You have to do it, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You have to do the year 0 joke.
Oh, I could do much more.
You have to do the year 0 joke.
I think the year 0 joke is tame compared to what I could do.
Well, what would you like to do? Just rip the scab off. Let's go. let's rip the scab off, Luke Fickle.
I got to learn. Oh, I can rip him just as much, if not more. The extension keeps Fleck's base salary at $6 million. His retention bonus jumps from $700,000 last season to $1 million in 2025. Essentially, Fleck's contract has been extended 1 year from a previous contract. Extends deal through 2029. Why not? Do you have that one in the Why not?
I do, yeah. PJ Fleck extended.
Why not?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This won't surprise anybody. I have no problem with any of these contract extensions ever. I know nobody was coming to get him. I know he's been extended multiple times. Extensions to me are almost meaningless. The numbers you always want to pay attention to are the buyouts for if he leaves or if you want to fire him. And that's for any coach. Those are the numbers to me that are the most important ones. They're really the only numbers that matter. So, yeah, I have no pride. I love it. Keep him here as long as you can. Year 9, that's great. We'll be in Vegas for Big Ten Media Days because it's 2025. We'll be in Vegas in 2 weeks. In fact, I think 2 weeks from tonight, we will have a PJ Fleck Media Day show, Grimmer and me. So we will be there in 2 weeks. Yeah, I think the PJ Fleck extension conversation is predictable on all sides. You have the people that think they're stupid and why would you do this? You have the people like me that go, why wouldn't you do it? It's 1 year. You're giving him a little bit extra money. Smoke him if you got him. Why not? I like that he's the coach here. I think he's done a good job here. I think the last couple of years, recruiting has been outstanding. I think he's even gone up a different level. So I'm good with it. I know that shocks nobody, but I love it. Keep him here. I love it. I like working with him. I think he's done a good job. Keep him going. Make it 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Kessler will agree with me. We know that.
Well, I was just about to say, I hope that Kessler's here in the other studio because he might still be running on the field over at the stadium because he might be so fired up about PJ getting extended another year.
I wonder if he has passed by the Ski-U-Mah lot lately because we're like 6 weeks away from the first game. We could do the math on it, but I think we're 6 or 7 weeks away from the first game, Thursday night, August 28th against Buffalo from the Mid-American Conference. So, yeah, this one is interesting. Now, I will say it's interesting because it's an interesting time to do an extension. Now, a lot of times these have been negotiated for like 6, 7, 8 months. I don't think he had no leverage to get one. I just think we like you. Here's what we're doing. Let's add it to 2030 and enjoy your retention bonus of $1.7 million. Whatever it is.
The Roman Voss effect is real, the fan has learned. Twins are playing baseball still. They actually don't look now, have won 3 out of their last 4 games. They beat the Cubs yesterday in 8-1 fashion. Today, Festa on the mound. Dubs go crazy. The Cubs in town at Target Field.
Sounded like there were a lot of Cub fans there last night.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Nor should it.
Yeah.
I'm calling this week the Twins' attendance has been dreadful, as we know. I think there's only 3 major league teams that are playing in major league stadiums that actually have worse attendance than Minnesota this season, which is not good. 2 of the teams that are below them are Tampa Bay, who's playing, Tampa Bay, who's playing in Steinbrenner Field, which is the Yankees' spring training facility, if I remember correctly, and the Sacramento A's playing in Sacramento because they can't play in Oakland anymore. They're moving, and the Vegas ballpark isn't ready yet. Those are 2 of the 5 teams that are below the Twins in attendance. So enjoy the Cubs stimulus package. If you're the Twins management, if you're Twins ownership, enjoy a bunch of Chicago fans, whether they came over from Chicago or they live here locally or they live in Iowa because of your Iowa Cubs in Des Moines, which is a big reason why they're popular down there. Mm-hmm. Enjoy the Chicago Cubs stimulus package this week. As Forrest Gump would say, that's all I have to say about that.
So that kind of wraps up the real sports. Well, I take that back. There is one thing that happened that is real sports. Your Loons. Gone are the days where I've tried to convince you to follow the Loons more. I used to, like years ago.
You
and
did.
One day you put your foot down and said, stop talking to me about the Loons. And I haven't since. But they are in this thing called the U.S. Open Cup.
Can I stop you? This is what's confusing.
Okay.
There's too many cups.
Yeah, welcome to soccer.
There's too many seasons.
Yep.
Now, I know one of my favorite things, as you know, is the NBA Emirates Cup, the in-season tournament.
Brilliant. They got that from soccer.
The Commissioner's Cup. They did. I get it. So how many different cups are available for the Loons to participate or to win?
Right now, 2.
So just the main one and this one?
Yes. That's for now.
For now, we're adding a cup? We're expanding to a different cup?
If they do really well in the one, then they could earn a chance to play in the CONCACAF Champions League or whatever they're calling it, Champions Cup. So there could be 3. So my Tottenham Hotspur could win as much as 4 in one season that's going on. So yeah, over in England.
And people say there's too many bowl games.
Yeah, but these actually, anyway, I don't want to get on that story.
No, you can. You're on the show. You say whatever you want to say.
Well, because I know it's just going to go into, is the Insight Bowl really matter? You don't throw parades for the Insight Bowl.
First of all, it's called the Guarantee. It's called the Rate Bowl now.
Yes,
the Insight Bowl is no longer with us. It used to be the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Now it's the Rate Bowl. And that was a hell of...
Is the rate up for grabs now?
I think it's debatable. It's not guaranteed. I think it's flexible. And that was a hell of a win over West Virginia a few years ago. It was a great night at Chase Field in Arizona.
I do love that stadium.
It's a good spot.
But the Loons, here's why I bring it up, is because the U.S. Open Cup is a pretty big deal as far as U.S. goes. It's basically every soccer team professional in the U.S., so MLS down, USL. They won 3-1 over the Chicago Fire. They're in the Final 4 of this tournament. I think they're going to host the rest of the way, including the final if they win. So it would be a pretty big deal to bring I would consider it a major, at least for an American club, a major trophy to the city. So they're within grasp of potentially doing that.
One of the cups.
One of the cups
that they're available to win.
Hey, a trophy is a trophy.
It's true.
Now I'm really wrapping up the real sports.
It's July 9th, baby.
Yep. Hey, have you heard? I refreshed World Series of Poker. Corey Cove officially cashed in the World Series of Poker, the main event 81 as it's called. So he will make his money back. I'm still looking at, he now has the smallest stack at his table, but he still has 158,000
He's alive.
chips. He's alive. He's got many chips, a chair, and a chance.
Are they still playing right now? Or
I think so.
Are they done for the day? He's officially in the cat. Once they get there, I should have asked Halvey that. Is he done for the day, or do they keep playing? Because I think it's only 3:15 Vegas time.
Let's see.
Maybe it's 4:15. I don't know what the...
It says it's running.
Okay.
So I'm assuming he's still playing because there's new people at his table. So
love it.
That's what I'm going with. Also, one last thing for you. ESPN put out, it's July 9th.
Yes.
The best 2028 U.S. Olympic flag football roster.
I saw this.
Did you read the names?
No, I didn't. I still don't understand why we're doing this.
Why not? Why play the PJ flag? Why not?
Why we're putting NFL players in flag football?
Why not? Win a gold medal.
It's stupid.
I love sports nationalism. I love I'll watch anything with you.
I understand, but we can. They don't have to be NFL players. Okay.
So you side with the one flag football player who said he's better than these NFL players?
I side with being a sports fan, and let's say Jordan Love is the quarterback, and he tears his ACL because some accountant from Latvia is trying to be a hero in the Los Angeles games from 2028.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want these guys.
They could do that at any time, though. They could. Jordan Love at his wedding the other day could have tore his ACL walking down the aisle.
But that's the point. Why we put things in contracts now, like you can't ride motorcycles and you can't go cliff jumping.
Yeah.
But we're going to let you play flag football in something that is not really your sport. It's how you all started playing when you were like 7 or 8 years old. But who's our 10? I know you want to get to it. What's our team?
Well, the players wanted it, so you can get mad at the players.
I am mad at the players. I think it's stupid.
ESPN says Jaden Daniels at quarterback.
Okay.
Jamar Gibbs at running back.
Yeah.
Wide receiver Jeremiah Smith. And I'm bearing the lead because Justin Jefferson is mentioned.
Well, I would hope so.
Jamar Chase is mentioned. Rusher Micah Parsons. I would not want to be the quarterback on the other side of that. Surtain, Travis Hunter, Cooper DeJean mentioned.
That's a good squad.
And former Gopher Antoine Winfield Jr.
Look at that
as well.
Look at that.
You have no interest. I'm watching these games. Especially if JJ's out there, come on. You just hate it.
I just don't understand why we needed it. Why they need it. It's not real.
Gold medal is definitely real.
I
You
know.
calling the Olympics not real?
No, it's real. It's not worth it.
Maybe that's what Big Show is coming to U.S. Bank. Some Olympic flag football.
Flag football Olympic trials?
Why not?
We'll find out. I think Kessler's in the building. I think I saw him wander over into this other studio here. We'll drop him in here, get his thoughts on a couple of things from the top 5. Definitely the PJ Fleck extension. I'm sure he has thoughts on that. And as always, he has a robust list of political and local topics to discuss. So we'll do all that with Special K after we give you some bonus bucks.
Yeah, the fan and BigDeck.com when you give you a shot to win those bonus bucks to the National Cash Contest. Head to KFAN.com. The keyword is bills. Keyword bills, KFAN.com. Keyword bills.
Hot days, humid nights, and non-stop plans. All that heat can increase hair shedding, while a packed schedule can add stress, which can impact your hair. Nutrafol's whole-body approach and clinically tested formulas support your hair from within, so you can focus on living your best life all summer long.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
Thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas for men and women that are tailored to different life stages, such as postpartum or menopause, and lifestyle factors, such as a plant-based lifestyle, so you can get just what you need. Plus, users of Nutrafol men reported no impact to sexual performance.
Thank goodness. While many supplements rely solely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure their efficacy. In a clinical study, 84% of men showed improvement in their hair after 6 months taking Nutrafol Men Hair Growth Supplement, and 90% of women saw overall improvement in their hair after taking Nutrafol Women Hair Growth Supplement for 6 months.
Building a hair growth routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed. Enjoy free shipping, automated deliveries, and up to 20% savings with Nutrafol subscription. Plus, get free naturopathic doctor consults and a Headspace meditation membership.
Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering listeners $10 off your first month subscription. Free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com. Enter promo code CULTURISTAS.
Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. Spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code CULTURISTAS. That's Nutrafol.com. Promo code CULTURISTAS.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
Fan.
I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America?
Pat Kessler.
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
I can't trust Obama. He's an Arab.
Pat Kessler.
Tear down this wall.
I did nothing wrong at the Minneapolis airport.
Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
Pat Kessler. And now, To help Dan break down all the tough questions in politics, it's our own Pat Kessler Political Wonk.
I feel like a supermodel, except like times 10.
It's Channel 4's Pat Kessler with Dan Barreiro on the Fan.
You're everything to me. That's all I have to say.
I'm always excited to see Pat Kessler. He's one of my favorite people, and I'm not just saying that.
You're not?
Pat Kessler is, and I'm talking to the audience right now, not you directly. Well, I guess I'll speak directly to you.
But I'm blushing.
Pat, you are one of my favorite people, which is part of the reason why it bums me out so much when you ditch me on all these Gopher road trips. I turn around and you're no longer there anymore because I love spending time with you. Mm-hmm. I love visiting with you. I often tell you, you can hang out in here when Dan's, using the 5:15 segment to talk about something else, read texts.
Just hang with you.
Whatever. Mm-hmm. We always have a lot to catch up on, right?
Mm-hmm. We do.
I love seeing you every Wednesday. I'm disappointed that I'm looking right at you right now because...
where is this going?
I follow you on Twitter, at Pat Kessler. Mm-hmm. We've got multiple posts about your pugs. We've got a PJ Fleck post. And then there's this one, your most recent tweet from 8 hours ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
Happy 101st birthday to my beautiful mother, Rose Anderson Kessler, a true Minnesota farm girl who lives her life with faith and joy. Here's a photo of her at 100 last year when I took the time to drive over to Illinois to visit her on her birthday. Actually, I added that last part.
I see where this is going.
What are you doing here? It's Rose Anderson Kessler's 101st
101 years old
birthday.
I'm committed to the bit.
You knew you had Wednesdays.
I said to her, I don't care. Ma, meatloaf. That's normally what I say to her. But, I knew that Barreiro was sick because he's got a witty bitty cold.
Yeah, we got to get him some emergency to take on these flights, to get ahead of the sickness.
Well, I'm a little freaked out by why he is sick.
The Blarney Stone?
Yeah. That freaks me out just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that I would be unable to see my mother because I need to fill in.
You needed to be here.
Yeah, I'm committed to the bit.
I saw...
My mother is 100 years old, 101 years old.
You've already forgotten.
My mother is 101 years old.
Amazing.
It is incredible, and she's beautiful, and she's still with it. She's all about it, just kicks my ass in Scrabble, and I don't let her win. She beats me by... For you Scrabble lovers out there, there are 2-letter words that are so arcane and obscure.
Yep.
And she knows them all. So she's still with it. She's still doing fine, living with my brother. And I think what makes her so great is that she looks great, she's healthy, and it's because of 13 kids. When you have 13 children, gave birth to 13 children, when that happens, it adds longevity. 13 rambunctious children. So
that's your theory.
How many do you have?
I have 3.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That is so cute. 3 little kids. That's so sweet.
A friend of mine was in studio today, Charlie Barker, who used to work at WCCO TV on the assignment desk a million years ago. Then he came here to work in the 90s. I got to know him through Final Four trips because he helps out with Westwood One every year. So I met him 10, 11 years ago. And he's back because his mom is turning 90. And so he lives in Texas now. He came this week to celebrate her birthday, I think, on Saturday. And as he's leaving, he says, when you have Kessler on, make sure you play the happy birthday song. His mom is 101 today. And I said, I didn't see your tweet until later.
Oh, no. And you're immediately angry.
Well, I'm like, why is he here? You should be with your mom on 101. But I understand why you're not. 100, big deal. 101.
It's just another day in the Kessler house.
It's true.
Yeah, it is. But we have so many people there, and I go there frequently to visit her.
You do.
And then I will see her very shortly in a couple of weeks. But we have so many people coming and going. All of the kids may I?
Yeah.
Greg, Mark, Pat, Rosemary, Timothy, Peter, Susan, Paul, Michael, Philip, Madeline, Mary, and John. That's incredible. That's all of the kids. And I think there's probably 7 of them there. She won't even know that I'm not there. That's what I'm saying.
Well, and one of your brothers I talked to at your 70th birthday party for like an hour and a half thinking it was you. That's how much you look alike. So she probably does think you're there.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things. So I remember you saying at one point a few years ago that you couldn't even get in to see your mom, like on her schedule.
Yeah.
Her calendar was so full that I'd like to see my mom, but the slots are booked for the next month.
It's true. So my brother, with whom she lives, makes the schedule because you don't want to have too many people there all at once. And so I got to call up and it's a yay or nay. So I plan way in advance to do this. So, she was a farm girl, and that's what makes her healthy and robust. I think I've told you before that English is her second language.
Okay. I don't think I knew that.
Yep.
I'm sure you told me.
She grew up speaking Swedish till she was 5-6 years old, and that her family spoke Swedish out of respect to the old folks from the traditional country of Sweden. Everybody there spoke Swedish. So, yeah, she was no electricity, no plumbing, that one. She is a link, one of the last links, I think, of a lot of people in Minnesota, a last link to a lost Minnesota.
Sure.
Where, we don't have that many 101-year-old kids from farms all over the state that are still with us.
So I want to ask you about something we talked about earlier. Myron Metcalf, my buddy who writes basketball for ESPN and covers basketball for ESPN, also writes a column for the Star Tribune. And he wrote today about a road trip that he just went on with his family. He's got 3 daughters, I think, back to Milwaukee, where he's from. Lives in St. Paul now, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he was just talking about the concept of a road trip when we were kids.
Yeah.
And we didn't have iPads and screens and tablets and all these ways to keep ourselves occupied. You had to use your imagination, come up with games, do a license plate, scavenger hunt, the whole bit. And I was talking about some of my memories. Brett was talking about some of his memories. I'm curious where you are on this, because I asked Pat Micheletti about it, and he said, well, my dad works 6 days a week. He comes from 9 kids. Said, we didn't really do road trips.
Yeah.
We might go 15 minutes to the lake. They're up in the Iron Range. You're on the farm. Was there such a thing as a Kessler family road trip, and what did that look like?
Before we moved to the farm, when I was very little, we would take vacations, and we would have to take 2 cars, one like a Ford Econoline van, and one absolutely sweet Country Squire wagon. Ford Country Squire. Think about that. Look it up, kids. But yeah, I mean, there's no seat belts. We're fighting. Because we have 13 kids, I remember once leaving one behind.
Like Home Alone? Like Kevin McAllister?
No, at a gas station. Even better.
Just forgot him.
Normally, we would go through the car, and everybody it would be a roll call. Greg, here. Mark, here. Pat, and we'd go through the whole family. And we left one of my little brothers at the gas station. I think we were, 15
That's the
miles
follow-up,
out.
right? When did you realize?
15 miles out.
The McAllisters got all the way to Paris.
Because you think they're in the other car, whatever.
Oh, my gosh.
And we have 2 cars, and the kids are fighting, and stop it! I'm going to turn it around. That was real.
Oh, yeah.
No seatbelt. People, going over the seats and all that. So it was like 15, 20 minutes out. So I'd say 15 miles out. We had to turn around, go back to the gas station. We figured that's what it was. And luckily, he was still there and not, absconded or anything. Just having, I think he was having a little Coke, a little ice cream, something like that. So, yeah, that happens. I mean, it happens in real life. And John Hughes made a whole franchise out of it.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You've got Home Alone.
And people wonder, and now Catherine O'Hara, the mother in the movie, who's fantastic.
Yep.
What kind of a mother is she? Well, you're a harried mother and you don't know, you got all these things, she's making bologna sandwiches in the front seat for when we stop at a little park where we can sit at picnic benches. And, she's busy. 13 kids. So there it is. Happy birthday, Rose.
101.
Think about it.
What do you get someone who's 101?
A smile. Hi, love you, Mom.
Not a visit.
Yeah. Shots fired.
An Amazon package shows up at your brother's door.
Yeah, no, of course, we send flowers. And so that's what you do, and I will see her. And I'm not going to say birthdays don't mean much, but she's so damn sweet. Now, how old am I again?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And, well, Mom, when were you born? 1924. And what is it now? 2020. Am I 100? It's like that.
Yeah, right.
And it's the sweetest thing ever.
So are there periods of history where you've picked her brain?
I'm going to tell you, man, for all of our listeners out there, do this now with your parents.
Right.
I have done this for years, and she's getting very old, but she remembers vividly in Technicolor what happened in 1930 or 1935 when the hobos would come to her door during the Depression looking for work or looking for food.
She didn't have a no solicitor sign.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Is what I spent
there we go.
The 445 segment.
And you, in the 1%, you're so worried about somebody coming to your door. They would come to the door.
Yeah.
And they would feed them. And on the farm, they would feed them. And always have food. And then the hobo, as they were leaving, and some of them spent the night. And my mother they'd spend the night in the hay loft in the farm.
Really?
Yeah, they'd sleep up in the crib among the straw, and she would sing a song, and she still sings songs to me in Swedish, and she'd sing a song about it. Can I sleep in your barn tonight, mister? Look it up. I mean, all these things. So there's many, many memories, and I've recorded and taken them down. What it's like to grow up on a farm. They didn't have electricity and to milk the cows, none of that.
Right.
And how do you do it? And so, it's a rich history, oral history that I think we're losing in the state of Minnesota because most people don't have that pioneer farm experience of life and death on a farm. And it's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool.
No, it is. There's a lot of people with a lot of stories too.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Just as you get older, and I'm with you. Like I remember just even talking to my parents about stuff when you don't think about it when you're 15, 20 years old.
Right.
Because your parents, why would you? And then you go, well, what happened here? What happened there? And then you hear.
And then they open up.
Yeah. It's really fascinating. It is good advice.
Sometimes she can't remember my name, but she knows I'm her favorite son.
Obviously.
I mean, there's that.
You have the shirt.
Yeah, obviously.
That you wear when you show up. Mom's favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, all other siblings. I'm the favorite. But she can remember the colors and sounds and songs and language and funerals and wedding, everything in great detail that the way Minnesota was in 1930. And 1929, and in the Depression, and she's lived through the Depression and the World War.
I mean, just World War II. I was thinking about that.
And Elvis, and the atomic bomb, and the moon landings, and now AI and computers and technology. It's wild what has happened in the last 100 years.
Well, happy birthday, Rose.
Yeah, that's. I
hope
I was going to say that's kind of how I feel, but I guess I'm not demonstrating that, am I?
Well, like you say, she's got a busy social calendar, so she'll fit you in when she has time for you.
I'm just going to say again, I'm committed to the bid.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Yeah. All right, so tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., you probably go to as many concerts as anybody that I know. You weren't quite able to make Taylor Swift. Sorry about that.
I'm still very angry.
I know. You saw Beyonce a few weeks later, and I know you were very proud of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., U.S. Bank Stadium and Live Nation are announcing one of the biggest shows in Minnesota history. I think Paul Allen is involved in this. Now, you worked in TV and radio for a long time. You know that the tease is important. You got to have a good tease. When you're watching Wheel of Fortune, you need to have a good tease on your reality check to get them to stick around to watch.
Absolutely.
But who could it possibly be tomorrow that would necessitate a tease like this? I'm very worried about the letdown possibilities tomorrow.
Well, the overpromising.
Yes.
That's really something. I remember when U.S. Bank announced the biggest concert they've ever had, and it was Billy Joel. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, right. Okay, fine.
Sing us a song. I'm the piano man. Yeah.
What are you doing here? You're a piano man.
Right.
Unless it's reuniting the Beatles,
that's it, right?
Honest to God.
Yeah.
Could it be a Led Zeppelin reunion?
We've gotten that a lot today.
You have. Okay.
Yes.
Could it be that? Now,
Chad Abbott.
He'd be a great show.
It would just that.
Just unleash on us.
Paul McCartney.
He's number one on my list.
Yeah.
But he's also a guy you've probably seen him three times here, right?
Yeah. So Paul McCartney, that would be pretty cool. I'm kind of on the end, seeing all of these bands before they go away.
Yeah.
From The Who to Springsteen.
Did you see Elton
Stones
when he came through?
I did not.
Yeah. Have you seen him?
I have never seen him.
Really?
And I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
That I hadn't. I would have loved to have seen him back in the day. And so there's FOMO about that. Will there be another farewell tour?
That's it.
Probably.
Farewell means nothing.
So
you retired from CCO
and did I retire? Oh,
no,
did I?
Not really.
I did? Oh. Yeah, I know. It's true. So, McCartney maybe. I like the idea of WrestleMania. I do like that. And Brett Blakemore has, I think.
I hope.
That would be awesome.
Because they say.
Wouldn't that be one of the biggest, are they saying concert or just show?
They're saying show. And that, okay. I think, are they being clever there? Because other people have speculated, is it the NFL draft in 2028? Is it something like that?
It could be that. They specifically say that there's a Viking jersey element.
Yes.
So that could be the draft?
A customized Vikings jersey, which isn't atypical for concerts, right?
Yeah. My garage band.
I just don't know who. I opened the show with it because people have been talking about it all day.
Yeah,
obviously.
So
because when you tease it like that, whoa, who could this be?
The biggest show in the world was already here last year. Taylor Swift.
2023, a couple of years ago.
2 years ago.
Your mom was 99.
And that's why I didn't go.
You didn't go to Taylor
Swift. I was going to visit her.
You were going to visit her on her 99th
for a week
birthday.
long. It was a week long.
Yeah,
right?
a celebration.
Yeah, so I was gone for a week.
That's it. Taylor was huge, obviously. She saved American cities one by one and then moved over to Europe and took care of them, too. And now we're just a great, happy country world. Everybody's good.
Yeah, the economy's great. So it can't be Prince and a hologram, can it?
No, and it shouldn't be.
No. It's really difficult. My money's going to be on Paul McCartney. He's just announcing a world tour.
Is he?
He is.
Oh.
And the dates are not yet announced, but McCartney, I thought, just finished his world tour not too long ago.
Right.
In London, and brought on stage Ringo Starr, who on Sunday celebrated his 85th birthday.
That's amazing.
I know. So these people are all still with us.
Yeah. The best.
So is that plausible? If he just,
maybe.
he's going to.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
My favorite McCartney story, we've talked about it a bunch. I don't remember when it was, maybe 10 years ago. I think it was an after Grammy party, and they got video of this, and he handled this just perfectly. He was trying to get into a VIP party somewhere. And I'm guessing when you're Paul McCartney, you don't really need a pass to get in most places. Yeah. You don't need a credential. You're Paul McCartney.
Yes.
Well, at the door, apparently he wasn't on the list. And so he's got his people, I don't know if it's his band or his management, whatever it is.
His bodyguards.
His bodyguards, probably. And whoever's at the door, it was probably like Brett Blakemore's age.
Who are you?
Has no idea
who
you are. But McCartney doesn't go crazy and doesn't do the don't you know who I am bit.
Right. Now I'm really upset.
He looks at his band, and you can find the video, and it's just great video. And it actually, I listen to the Beatles because my mom listened to the Beatles, right? And my mom and her sister and everybody of that generation loved the Beatles, as you would. And he turns around and he says to the group that he's with, We need another hit, guys. We need another hit.
So great.
I mean, that's as good a response in the moment as you can possibly have. And I'm guessing he got into the party, but
and that's somebody exercising humility.
Yes,
I mean it really is.
It's my favorite. It might be one of my top 3 favorite stories of anybody ever.
It's really great, and similar to when Bob Dylan was arrested by police because neighbors were complaining. He was just some old man walking down the street in New Jersey.
You've been there.
Yeah. Who hasn't, except Bob Dylan was wearing pants.
Oh, right.
I wasn't.
Good point.
So he's taken into custody and they take him to the police station and he says, "What's your name?" "Bob Dylan." And it's like a blank look in the sergeant's eyes. This young police officer who has no idea who Bob Dylan is. But he also was very gracious, I understand. But that's an even
we need
better
another
story
hit, guys.
In public.
763 text as we get out of here. Absolutely gripping radio. Dead serious. Love it. Thanks for having Kessie open a vein. Happy birthday, Rose.
Oh, that is so nice. Thank you so much. I will tell her.
When we come back, we've got some State Fair foods to talk about. And speaking of teases, if you tease the Epstein report, shouldn't you?
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
Did you release it?
Man.
The return of football. Boy, am I pumped to read this. The return of football with the Minnesota Vikings at training camp. The fun kicks off Saturday, July 26th for Back Together Saturday. Score tickets today at Vikings.com/camp. That's Vikings.com/camp.
952 text for Pat Kessler. How is Kessler celebrating the 50 days until Gopher football holiday today? That from Rose Bowl guy.
Gummy a day.
I asked.
A gummy a day countdown. Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? Smoke them if you got them.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I actually am very, very excited.
As PJ would say,
why not?
I think this is great. I'm very excited about this. Every year we're excited, of course, but the recruiting class this year again is incredible. I think it was a bargain to re-sign him for a number of years. It's a bargain. And I mean, who are you going to get that's going to be better than PJ Fleck? And that's, I'm just telling you, I think he's great. He's one of the great coaches
you know how I feel about him.
In the United States.
Yeah.
He's built a program. He's got these guys graduating. He's coaching them up into the NFL. I mean, honest to God, what do you want? Well, we want a Rose Bowl. I get that.
Yep.
But this guy is really high-class priority coach. So, yeah, I mean, this is the right thing to do. Get it out of the way. Now let's go. LFG.
Somebody also wants to know, are you making the trip to Oregon this year? I think they're making the road trip to Oregon. The Gophers play there Friday night, November 14th.
Let me look this up. So,
will the Kesslers be there? Will you be ditching me in Eugene on Thursday night, November 13th?
Okay, this is a really unusual year because there are 3 really good road games.
Yeah.
Wrigley Field.
Yep. Against Northwestern.
You've got Cal.
Berkeley, yep.
Cal Berkeley.
Third game of the season.
Sonoma County.
Yep.
The wine country. You go for a few days before, a few days after. And then Oregon, which is that Willamette Valley?
I don't know. I'm not a great wine mind. Sounds right.
Oh, for God's sake.
It sounds right. They're going to Columbus, too. I don't know about the wine, but the football there is pretty good in Columbus, Ohio. Well, that
would be fine, but that's...
but we've been there.
Yeah. So why?
Mm-hmm.
But so Oregon might be a really good one. If I'm back from Milan by then... What?
Nothing.
I'm just speaking the truth.
I know.
Then I'll think about that.
I think one of the interesting things about this show is that the kid that grew up in Edina, Minnesota, with the silver spoon.
Yeah, you did.
Somehow, between Dan and you and Louie and Mace and everybody, somehow I'm the relatable one, which isn't good for anybody.
Well, I mean
when you just drop if I'm back from Milan, I might be able to make it to Oregon.
Yeah, one of them. If once jet lag is gone. But yeah, I mean, so and that's a really sad commentary, I think, on you. Not me.
Yeah. You're doing fine.
I had a hard Scrabble existence growing up. I clawed my way into the current life that I have. And, we used up all of the fun. Sorry.
Yeah.
I am.
Can you explain, as Ron Rosenbaum would say, the late, great Ron Rosenbaum, let's start at the beginning.
Whenever he said that to me, I went, oh, Lord.
You could go smoke a cigarette and be back by the time he was done, which is why he was great.
I'm going to read the statute.
Yes. Yeah. Let's start at the beginning for people that aren't familiar. That's how Ron, every Thursday at 5:15.
Yeah.
And it used to be Wednesday, but then he switched days with you. He said for a personal reason.
It was the switcheroo of all time.
It ended up he had a men's golf league at his country club that he needed. Speaking of relatable,
exactly,
that he needed to get switched around, and you graciously did it, and that's why you've been on Wednesdays ever since.
And I'm still angry.
But the Epstein files. We had Gerald Posner on Monday as a guy who is big on disclosing everything. If you have it, get it out there. Let the people see it. Let them decide. Let people dig into it the whole bit. This has been a big thing for a while. Jeffrey Epstein, for those that aren't familiar with, not Theo, the old Cubs and Red Sox general manager. Where are we with this thing? What is the current controversy with the Epstein files as we know it right now?
Jeffrey Epstein was someone who sex trafficked minor girls, and he was one of the richest people in the world. And he had an island where he took people to, and some very prominent rich people, including educators, tech giants, politicians, and he had these wild sex parties. So when it was finally revealed what he was doing, everybody ran for the corners. Everybody ran away. And so he ended up killing himself in jail. That's the story. Well, the MAGA right, the hard right conservatives of this country have made this into a huge deal that Donald Trump bought into, that there is a list that the deep state is hiding, that there are flight logs and there are memos and there's a list of all of the Epstein clients, and we're going to reveal them. Pam Bondi, who is
Attorney
the Attorney General.
Yep.
Kash Patel, who is
FBI.
the FBI director, Dan Bongino, who's the deputy director. They all, how would you say this? They all played on this and made money off this conspiracy theory that there is this out here. And when Donald Trump is elected, he promises to release the Epstein files, the list of the clients. So what happens? Even when Trump is elected, and Pam Bondi just a couple of months ago or a month or so ago, had brought people in, gave them Epstein files of all the podcasters. I'm with Alex Jones on this one. This is a giant ripoff. Suddenly, we get a memo, unsigned, undated, that is released to the press, which says, you know what? There is no file. There is no Epstein client list. There never was. He committed suicide. Don't pursue this. Many people think he was murdered by the rich people who he was going to expose.
Mm-hmm.
And
that conspiracy theory was out in 2 seconds, right? When he killed himself, allegedly.
No, it's still going.
No, I mean, but that was the thought right away. Yeah, he was like, this is convenient.
Right.
Yes.
And so the Trump administration released a file to prove, or a video to prove that nobody went in there and did it, but there's a missing 1 minute. Here's the bottom line. They trafficked in this, the Trump administration, the highest level Trump people. They made a blank ton of money off this. For their podcasts, for everything. And they had millions of maggots believing this, had everybody believing this. And now there's nothing. And they said there never was a list. So the conspiracy theory now is that they're lying. And, I don't know who to believe. They said they had the list. Specifically, we're going to release this list.
Right.
We're going to hold people accountable. The people in the highest levels of the Trump administration. And you're telling me that they didn't go to Trump and say, should we release this? The unspoken question here, and I'm going to speak it, is Donald Trump on the list? And that's why it's not being released. I'm just asking.
Well, Elon asked it too. Elon straight up said it.
So
his guy.
There are this crosses Democrats, Republicans, all different people partied with Jeffrey Epstein, including Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, a number of high-level attorneys and college professors. A lot of people did this. What we have with Donald Trump that we didn't have with the other is videos of him grab-assing at a party of young people and partying. There's many photographs, videos, everything.
Yeah.
And so that's what we don't have. So that's the bottom line. I mean, I'm so confused and turned around and whipsawed by everything going on in the Trump administration that they're now telling us, after telling us all of this exists and we're going to release it all and you're going to be proud of us, now none of it exists. All of a sudden, like in Russia where things just disappear. You've been disappeared. And this didn't exist, so we're not going to talk about it anymore. It's crazy.
Well, it's been interesting to me is, like you say, a couple of the really hardcore Trump supporters that I follow on Twitter are mad about this, are bitter about this, are saying, what are we doing here? And what's interesting is you can watch those videos that you say. You can see Pam Bondi 3 months ago saying, yeah, Dave, this is out. We're getting it out. Or
sitting on my desk and I'm reviewing it right now and I'm going to release it.
And that's the thing. And I know that she was just asked about it again recently, and Trump shut something down in some cabinet meeting
yesterday.
And don't like the question. But I started the show talking about the big tease of the U.S. Bank Stadium show. Like, if you have this big tease and you say, this is what we have and this is what we're going to do with it, and then you never do, whether it's paying off a radio tease, paying off a concert announcement tomorrow morning at 7, or this, people are going to have some questions about it.
Well, they are. And it's even beyond saying that I'm going to do something. They're saying this never existed,
right?
What they were going to release. Now they're saying there is none of this. What they have been saying for years that they're going to investigate and get out there. And as a matter of fact, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, promised a phase 2 where they do a lot more releasing of information and thousands of pieces of information. President's lawyers saying they're going to release the flight logs of every flight Jeffrey Epstein ever took and who was on the plane.
Right.
Apparently that doesn't exist. So forgive me if I'm skeptical.
Can I do another Ron Rosenbaum thing?
Mm-hmm.
Can you stay for another segment? He would also do that to everybody. Can I put you on hold?
Yeah.
Can you stay for one more segment?
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about Biden's doctor, who was asked some questions today, didn't want to answer them, and your guy, Governor Walz, back in the news again. And not just because there's new state fair foods, which, of course, he had a comment on. Can we talk about that when we come back?
Yeah.
More.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
Special K when we can. to Bumper. Guardsy in for Dan today. Hopefully Dan will be back tomorrow. Mayo Clinic Big Knocker Bill Maurice is scheduled to join us. A little Covenant catch-up with the Knocker tomorrow at 5. Pat Kessler is here for one more segment. We're out at 6:30. Here's the tweet from Governor Tim Walz 7 hours ago. It will all rock. He's not talking about his potential third gubernatorial campaign and term. He's talking about the new state fair foods for 2025, which is released today. This had to be a big day for you when you used to work at Channel 4 when this was announced, because it's a big day to know what you love the fair.
I do.
You're there multiple days with us and other days. Did you happen to look at the new list?
I'm going to tell the truth here.
It's rare.
I don't know. Yeah, right. So I'm going to look it up right now. But this is what my gal and I do. The woman I love. And I think she loves me. Mm-hmm. We go to the fair and we will try the state fair foods, the new ones.
The new ones.
And a lot of times we will take the ratings that we see, people rank them, from 10 to 1, top 10, and we'll sample every single one of them.
Here's a couple of things that caught my eye.
I want to know. I'm going to look it up right now so I can be with you.
The Bison Meatball Sub from Minnesota Farmers Union Coffee Shop. Bison and bacon meatballs from Minnesota-based, of course.
Can we go back to the Bison Meatball Sub?
That's where we are.
Yeah, okay, so
Bison Meatball Sub.
The Farmers Union has come up with the best food at the fair for 3-4 years running.
Really?
Have you had their BLTs with the fried green tomatoes? I mean, it's unbelievable.
No.
Okay, Farmers Union, great. Okay, that's a good one. Go
Bison Meatball Sub.
Fantastic.
Soul Bowl has chicken fried bacon fries, beef bacon strips, double-breasted in tempura flour and fried, garnished with fresh parsley and served in a cup. You've got choice of 2 dipping sauces, Cashville Hot, a brown sugar Nashville-style hot sauce, or Gold Barbecue, a passion fruit Charleston Gold Barbecue sauce, chicken fried bacon fries.
Chicken fried bacon fry. That's on the list.
You like that?
Okay, I would do that.
I heard the Power Trip talk about this today. A falafel, a traditional Middle Eastern fritter of chickpeas and herbs pressed in a waffle iron, topped with tahini butter and served with cherry tomatoes, traditional hummus, and some other stuff. Does that do anything for you?
Again, yes. Now, I would buy 1 serving of this and then share it. Absolutely.
How about this one?
Okay, so I'm looking at the list here. Yeah, go ahead.
The morning show had some fun with this one. I'm worried about you at this one.
Oh, Lord.
Grandma Doreen's dessert dog. What?
What is... And it was a big one.
Grandma Doreen's dessert dog.
Okay, so this is...
I wish we were streaming to see Kessler's face.
This is after dinner.
West End Creamery.
This is an after-dinner delight.
Maybe before dinner.
For Grandma Doreen.
Grandma Doreen and her dessert dog.
Well, dessert is after dinner, so it's Doreen's after-dinner delight. Okay, great.
Vanilla ice cream created by Minnesota Dairy Labs, sandwiched between 2 pieces of Grandma Doreen's coffee cake, a family recipe from Elgin, Minnesota, made by Rectangle Pizza, skewered on a stick and drizzled with house-made strawberry rhubarb jam. That's where I'm out. The strawberry rhubarb jam, I'm out.
You've never had that?
I don't like strawberry. I don't like jelly. I don't like that stuff. But Grandma Doreen's dessert dog. Your thoughts?
Again, this is, I'm going to have to look at all of these, but I would rank that. Absolutely.
Hot honey pizza.
May or may not try it. Hold on. Oh, wait, it's Rectangle did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rectangle's good.
Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, I will do that.
Hot honey pizza balls with 2 Z's. 3 pizza dough balls stuffed with cheese curds, pepperoni herbs, and Parmesan cheese.
Are they big balls? I mean, I'm just asking the size of them.
Hockey.
Are you looking at the photograph?
They look pretty substantial. Pretty big substantial.
Yeah. What do you mean?
How do we already have a big balls Kessler drop?
It's in there.
I guess balls. I'm not surprised.
Well, that is that's a callback to the top aide, Elon Musk's top aide.
That's right. Doge.
Yes,
that
was his name. What was his name again?
Wasn't it Big Balls? Yeah.
I'm just saying the name.
You were.
That's all I'm doing.
You're right. Pizza cheese curd tacos Pepperoni sausage and pizza-flavored fried cheese curds in a crispy flour shell.
I don't know. Ooh!
Richie's cheese curd taco stand. That looks good. We got a lot of smash quesadillas. We got some triple chocolate mini donuts from Solem's Cheese Curds and Mini Donuts.
We should be on the same page so I can look at all these, but yeah.
I'm just on the Minnesota State Fair website.
Okay.
Got some new vendors that are popping in. See if anything else trips me up here before we keep going. Timber Twist from Giggles. Great spot.
Giggles is awesome. Always delivers.
Savory mixture of Italian sausage, mozzarella, cream cheese, and barbecue rub piped into 3 large manicotti shells, then wrapped in bacon.
So all of this is previously mixed, and then when you say piped into it, they've got some device that they shoot this into a manicotti shell. Okay.
And then they wrap it in bacon.
Sure, why not?
Cooked in a wood-fired smoker. Right around the corner. So those are the new ones. There's an Uncrustaburger. Uncrustables, the big, everybody loves Uncrustables, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich now. Coasters. Yes. I have no interest in it. Like I said, I don't like jelly. Hamburger patty with cheese, pickles, and special sauce sandwiched between 2 deep-fried peanut butter and grape jelly Uncrustables. So there you go.
I don't see any of the alcohol offerings here.
Yeah, I don't either. They usually do that list differently, don't they?
They put that out. It's like PG rated.
I think so.
Yeah. What about the hot honey jalapeno popper donut? Hot honey.
I'm looking at it.
Jalapeno donut.
Can you get it without jalapenos?
I would say yay on that deal.
Yeah. Looks good. That's from Fluffy's Hand Cut Donuts.
Okay, I'm looking at Grandma's Dessert Dog.
I bet you are.
Okay. All right, that's just fine.
You can bring one over on one of the days that you join us at the fair.
And sure, why not? And there's only, you have to practice the way you eat it when you're in public.
That's
all
true.
I'm saying.
That's very, very true.
All right.
All right. So that was Governor Walz on the state fair. But earlier in the week, he basically had his "if you build it, we will come" moment in our final couple of minutes here. Basically saying, was it a Howard Dean moment? And then we're going to take back the White House? Because he says, if we run, we will win. We talked about his third term a few weeks ago, possible third term. It seems like he's locked and loaded, ready to go, and very confident about the possibility of reelection, despite some not great polling numbers.
The headwinds are there for Governor Walz, so it would be more difficult to run this time than he has previously. But his exact quote is, if we run, we will win. He's throwing down a gauntlet. He is telling the Republicans in particular that he is going to mount a campaign. He's saying specifically that I'm going to mount a bigger campaign than the GOP has ever seen.
That's all I have to say.
And
he's basically saying, I can get more money than all of you, so good luck.
Yeah,
Come and get me.
And there's an old saying in politics when it comes to Governor Walz, and as much as he has really been through the grinder over the last year.
Beaten up.
He's just they beat the hell out of him. and they just did. And so that's affected him a little bit. But there is a saying in politics, don't compare me to the almighty. Compare me to the alternative.
Right.
And so who is going to run against him?
It's a fascinating question.
That can raise the money that he can. The Minnesota GOP right now is in disarray. They have a history of running not good candidates, of ones who can't appeal to the general public. And Governor Walz is counting on Trump's unpopularity. He thinks that they're going to have to nominate a right-wing Trump MAGA candidate. And if they do, he believes that he can win. And I'm telling you, with those circumstances, even though he is underwater on some polling, I would say he's got a better chance than any one of the candidates because we don't know exactly who they are yet. Now, they can come forward and run a great campaign, and it can be awesome if there is an actual Republican candidate who can give him a good fight. But with the Trump bill that just passed, where we're already going to see layoffs and deep cuts to programs that Minnesotans hold dear, and I'm not talking about Democrats or liberals, that everybody holds dear, your grandma in a nursing home who can't get Medicaid anymore. This is going to affect everybody in Minnesota, and that's what he's going to focus on. So can he win? I'd say sure, absolutely. And does he have a better chance than any candidate right now on July 9th? Yeah, he does. Is it going to be that way in 6 months? Who knows? But the history of Republicans running statewide candidates is not good. For 20 years, not good.
Happy birthday, final time, to your lovely mother.
Rose Anderson Kessler.
101.
101 years old.
Make a deal. 102 next year.
Oh, yeah.
Take the day off.
Can I?
Yeah, call in. Yeah.
You texted me immediately. You said, I don't care what's going on in your life. I expect you in the chair.
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
And I'm going to keep you until 6:17.
Yeah, okay, good.
That's what I said.
That's what you said.
Thank you, Cassie.
Thank you for that. All right, guys.
Pat Kessler, every single Wednesday, whether his mom turns 101.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
It's the Bumper to Bumper Show Wrap.
And it is presented by American Pressure, commercial-grade pressure washer since 1975. Guardsy in for Dan today. As we open the show, Brett Blakemore, if you were listening yesterday, this should not have come as a surprise. Dan on the injured list with bilateral voice weakness. We will see if he's back tomorrow. I certainly hope so, because we hope to open Dr. Dan's inbox. We also hope to have Bill Maurice on. Mayo Clinic big knocker, Bill Maurice, a Covenant catch-up with him is scheduled for 5 o'clock. So we've got a lot of show planned for tomorrow if Dan is in fact back. If he's not, we'll just wing it.
I'll be waiting by my phone with bated breath around 10:20.
I'm waiting for my phone as well. So we're out about 40 seconds from now. Is that what you're telling me?
About a minute and change.
Oh, SWAT team 2258. Got it. I should read the notes that you put on there. What did we talk about today? Well, we talked about the big concert announcement coming tomorrow. And really, there's only a couple people that could live up to the billing. I would say anything Paul McCartney related. Maybe Springsteen. Maybe U2. But there's only a few. Maybe it's the NFL draft. Maybe it's WrestleMania. Only time will tell, Davey. So that U.S. Bank Stadium announcement is 7 o'clock tomorrow. Paul Allen helping out with the announcement. Why not? National treasure. Anything you want to add about that?
Well, I just figure we tease it. Can I play a talk back?
Sure.
Talking about this?
Hey, this is Tim in Winona.
Hey, Tim.
My thinking on this concert is, if it's the biggest concert in Minnesota, it has to have some kind of Minnesota tie or connection, which of course we'll all love. So I'm going through those. I don't think it's Dylan, obviously not Prince. And I came up with one thing. I think the Meat Sauce and the Whalers are reuniting. It's going to be great.
Think about it.
See you later.
I watched a Meat Sauce and the Whalers show at a Rube party maybe 10 years ago. It was at, where was it? The Poorhouse. It's a hell of a show.
Fitting name.
It was a hell of a show. Thank you to Pat Micheletti. Thank you to Pat Kessler. Thank you, Brett Blakemore, for being on call. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Dan, me, who knows? Tune in. Bye.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.